Okay. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. I welcome you all to this online event presented by Sarkari School's anchoring team. Sarkari School is an initiative by the We Citizen Foundation where our motive is to bring out the stories of the heroes in the field of education who don't wear any caps but they bring forth their hard work. We at Sarkari School impart education and knowledge in the children who will be a successful citizen in the near future. Sarkari School has an initiative and it has gained help from numerous teachers and the strong-willed person who are doing their contribution, who are giving their contribution in the field of education, and this needs to be commemorated and told to the world out there. So Sarkari School is this platform where we conduct various meetings, seminars, online conferences to spread good deed through our YouTube channel. Upliftment is our only motive, and we think that we can do this if we come together and bring out something from us and do a bit for this initiative. As we all know that the 12th board exam for the year 2021 stands cancelled for the outgoing pandemic and keeping in mind the students' health. Our Honorable Prime Minister also said that we cannot compromise with this aspect and that the safety of our students is our utmost concern. But still, we have many doubts and queries in our mind that the decision taken by the government is in the favor of the students or in against them. To erase this illusion, we at Sarkari School is organizing this online debate competition titled 12th Board Exam Scrapped, a Decision Right or Wrong. Here, we would hear the reviews and the opinions of many students related to the topic, and based on today's discussion, we'll come to a judgment at the end. We have Ifra and Archie who will be moderating today's event, and Kirti who will tell us the rules of this competition. I really hope that we'll have a wonderful time together and looking forward to all of you guys. Thank you so much and all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Kirti, over to
Kirti,
you.
over to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening, everyone.
Uh, I'm
Uh,
going to
I'm
dictate
going to
rules
dictate
and
rules
judging
and
criteria
judging
for the
criteria.
debate competition. So, first rule is 1 point for each relevant statement. Second, negative zero point 0.5 points for repetitive statements. Third, 1 point for each relevant question asked. Fourth, 2 points for answering the question correctly. Fifth, each participant will be asked maximum 2 questions. Sixth, when you have only 1 minute left to speak, you will be given first warning sign by the moderators. Seventh, when you have only 30 seconds left to speak, the moderators will show you second warning sign. Note, no deduction of marks will be there if participants are not able to answer the question. There are some key judging criteria. So first criteria is relevant content. Second, voice modulation. Third, body language. Fourth, maintaining the calm while debating. There are some disqualification criteria. Participants will be disqualified if he or she practices the following. First, switching off camera due to any reasons. Second, exceeding the time limit. Time limit is 3 minutes. Third, using abusive language. Fourth, losing the temper while debating. Fifth, bringing the politics into the speech. That's it, guys. All the very best to all of you.
Hello and good evening, everyone. I am Ifra.
And I'm Archie Singhil from Sarkari School, and we both would be moderating this debate panel.
So, the topic of the debate is board exams crack, a decision right or no, wrong. You all will be given 3 minutes to speak, and when 1 minute will be left, I will be showing this paper, and After this, when 30 seconds will be left, then I will be again showing you this paper. So now all the
Yeah.
best everyone, and we are here to start the debate competition.
Yeah, so our first participant is Sanju Kumari, who is pursuing humanities from Miranda House, Delhi University, and she would be speaking for the motion. So, Sanju, are you ready? Sanju, you are on mute.
Am I loud and clear? Can you
Yes, now you
hear?
are. Yeah,
All right.
so you can start.
I can't see the timer because I need to check on that.
Ifra would be timing you, so she'll keep on giving you the warnings. So you just look at the screen.
1 minute will be left, I will be showing you this paper. Sorry, this paper. And when 30 seconds will be left, then again I will be showing you this paper.
Okay, no problem. So may I start?
You can
Yes.
start.
Dramatic evening to everyone. My name is Sanju, and in today's house, the topic is board exam scrapped, a decision in the right direction. I firmly believe that this topic is for me because I stand in favor of this topic, and I do believe that the decision to scrap the board examination is the right decision, and not just a right decision, it's a reasonable and a sensitive decision. Why do I say this? It's because of three main reasons. Number one, because India is one of the worst hit country by pandemic. India is also weighed down by pandemic-induced humongous problems like oxygen supply, mental health problems, physical problems, and many more. In this situation, it should not have been a rational decision for government of India to conduct examination and to let let 12 lakh people, around 12 lakh small students in the mouth of this lethal virus called coronavirus, because we all know there is no future beyond life. So the priority that has been given to life by government of India over future is a reasonable decision, is a sensitive decision, and in fact, it's a right decision. Number very 2 point is very simple, because many of my opponents, worthy opponents, my able opponents can say that it is not a right decision because it will allow all students, whether they are average student, whether they're upper level students, on the same yardstick when it comes to evaluation. But let me just say this, because if you consider this fact, you should also consider the fact that the coronavirus has affected everyone on different magnitude of scale, because there were students who lost their everyone, whether their parents, grandparents, mothers, loved ones, even their teachers. And we all know students who were in the rural villages, students who could not afford to the online classes, and those were students that were hardly affected by this coronavirus. So in that situation, putting them, all the students, to give their board examination and deciding their career on the basis of that examination would really be an insensitive effort. And the effort has been taken by the CBSE and other board examination to have this equation of 30 plus 30 plus 40 to give the weightage 30% to the 11th class examination, 30% to the 10th class examination, and next 40% to the practical examinations held in 12th standard of their examination, 12th standard of their career, is a good, it's a savior, it's a good step. And I'd say this because it will not let any student on the line of disadvantage. Rather, it will not affect, in fact, it will benefit all students out there to fill their careers, to fulfill their dreams, and get to their educational dreams, whether it's in institution or whether it's a big, very big university. Now, the third point that I want to point out here is very simple. We all know that when life gives us lemons, we end up making lemonade. We know how to carve out opportunities out of the crisis, and that coronavirus is the biggest crisis we are facing in the century. This once in a century crisis has made students not to hamper their growth, but to have and let it go and increase and tower. We all know that the 12th pressure, the pressure, the immense pressure that 12th class examination held on students is tremendous. So to burden out, to bury this pressure and letting students to prepare very effortly to the competitive examinations like NEET, JEE, or to giving them opportunity, the more open space to carve out their own skill, to hone their skills, whether it's learning a new language, whether working on painting, whether working on cooking and other stuff, is really making them able to carve their career in different choices, in different paths and spheres. So giving them students this space is really a rational decision, is really effective and a
Your time
logical
is
decision.
up, Sindhu. Your time is over.
So I think the board examination, school exam script is the right decision, logical and sensitive decision. I rest my case here. Thank you all.
Thank you, Sanju. Now the floor is open for the questions. Would any participant like to ask a question from Sanju? Would any participant like to ask a question?
May I
Just
ask?
a
Like to ask question from Sanju.
yeah,
May
yeah,
I?
you can go ahead.
Am I audible? Is there-
Yes, you are. You can go ahead. You
So
can
first
ask
of
the
all, Sanju,
question.
very well said. Yeah, very well said. I totally love your debate. I just want to ask question. You have mentioned that this 30-30-40 criteria benefit the students of class 12 for pursuing their future careers, right? So don't you think that choosing 30-30-40 according to this criteria, it will be based on class 10th, 11th and 12th also. So some, in fact, most of the students who are not that much interested in studies, they studies not much well in their class 11th, they study in class 12 so as to get a good marks. So don't you think that this is just unfair and injustice with the student, that they will be evaluating on the basis of their past experiences, which might not be good for their future?
Thank you, Purna, for your question. I think it's a valid question. So I'll answer this question with 2 points. Number one, so when I say that the criteria of 30 plus 40 has been set by the CBSE for evaluating students, this policy is not affecting students. Why? Because when I say that it will help them to choose their career in a better way, in the best way possible, I say because if students who are really, really dedicated to their studies, they would have been, they might have been, and in fact, they should have been studied well in the 10th examination as well. Because we know the 10th examination is not just a board exam, it's not a simple examination as a 8th class standard examination or other. It's a yardstick, and that has been and that is being used in every interview we give, every other career option we choose. Number one. And secondly, when I say that this criteria has been set, it is not only the fact that every student will be based on this criteria. If they are not satisfied with the results they get with this evaluation policy, they have another option and choice to appear for the board examination in the forthcoming months. So if you know and if you consider your marks are really below average, you get below average marks, than you expected, you can appear for the board examination in the August. And this is the latest update by Government of India that has been recently launched and released by the Minister of Education of our country. So I think this answers your question, and I think it's a real and a very life-saver kind of step by Government of India to scrap examination and letting students to stay in house in this situation.
Okay, thank you, Sanju and Aparna. Now we'll be moving on to the next participant. So over to you, Ifra.
So our next participant is Nancy, and she's from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, and she will be speaking against the motion. Nancy, please check your mic.
Am I
Are
audible?
you ready? Yes, yes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Yes, you can go forward, Nancy.
A very good evening to everyone. Myself Nancy Suhag, pursuing my 10th standard from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya, Kaloi Jhajjar. I would like to speak against the topic. I think that the decision to cancel the 12th exams is not a wise decision. The first reason for my such opinion is there would not be right evaluation of the student, what they have studied or what they have learned. And the second one is the marks are also based on the exams which were held online. And in those exams, many students use wrong methods to attain a good score.
and this will be injustice for them who have studied whole the year and were honest in their exams. And the students who haven't scored a good marks in their 10th and 11th class, they have a chance to improve their score, but due to cancellation they has lost this chance also. And as we all know, 12th marks are considered to be base for entrance in many areas, such as college admission and some government and some private jobs also. So the students who have attained a good score by wrong means will get high positions and good colleges. And the students who really have knowledge and skill will remain behind in these areas. I think that instead of cancellation, there are other options too. The time period between the first wave and the second wave of the COVID 19, in the month of March, the cases were less at that time, and exams could have been conducted at that time with all the COVID protocols and precautions. And as we know that there has been a advice to the committee that the time period of the examination can also be reduced from 3 hours to half an hour and 1.5 hour. So this can also happen, and exams can also be conducted in different shifts. So if we cancel exams like this, then the quality of our education will surely decrease. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Okay, Nancy, you have finished your speech.
Yes, ma'am.
So we are open up for questions. If there is any question, then we can take it forward. Okay, Sanju is having a question. So Sanju, you can ask the question.
Nancy, thank you for your speech. So my simple question is, as you talked about that the criteria for evaluation of students, this criteria of 30, 30 plus 40 is not a fair enough idea to evaluate students. Can you please tell me what if a student who have gone through this situation of COVID-19 pandemic, the humongous problem they faced was mental health problem. They lost their loved ones. They were not able to access to the online platforms. In that situation, they were not able to get any kind of education at all. So would you still think that conducting board examinations and letting every student sitting in the examination on the same platter, even though they were not given same equality and equality of opportunity, would it be a fair enough choice to conduct the examination by the government?
Yes, I agree with you that many students has lost their loved ones, but among loved ones, examination is the prior among them.
If my question was not clear, can I ask it again? If I have this
Yes,
option
yes.
to.
Okay, please.
Yes, you can ask your question again.
Yeah. So my simple question is, students were not given equal opportunity to access the online platforms. Number one, they were also pressurized due to the mental health problems they were facing throughout the year, throughout the session. Would it be fair to allow those students sitting in the examination and conduct examination and then evaluate on the platter which was not equal enough at the beginning?
This will be mental pressure for those also who didn't want it, who are disappointed with this statement that 12th exams are cancelled.
Can I have a follow-up question?
Sanju, we are only accepting 2 questions, so I hope you have got your answer. So over to you, Archie.
Yeah, so our next participant is Atharsh Pandey from Kendriya Vidyalaya, and he would be speaking for the motion. So Atharsh Pandey, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you
Ma'am,
can
my
start.
name is Atharsh Pandey.
Okay, I'm so sorry for mispronouncing. Atharsh, you can start your debate.
Ma'am, I want to tell you that the government has done right that they have cancelled the examination of 12th class boards, because this will help the students to get cured from COVID-19, because life is more important than any other exam. Um, and apart from this, I want to tell you that 12th class boards are not very important for the student because they have to be cured from the COVID-19 so that they could appear in the higher level exams also. I think that uh, uh, I think that the online exam situation will also not be right because we don't know that every student has appropriate conditions to attend the exams online, and I think that in many rural areas some students are unable to join the online classes because online exams because there are not appropriate network connectivity, and there are many network connectivity issues also. Apart from this, in the admission of universities and colleges, we need not to give them the 12th class report cards. We could also appear in the entrance exam and take the admission in the classes, take the admission in the universities. So, ma'am, this option of cancellation of board exams was pretty right because, ma'am, some days before I also faced this condition because my grandmother was it was the death of my grandmother and I have to go to my hometown, and so I had not appeared in the social science exam. Ma'am, this exam, this curriculum of taking the results of 10th and 11th class will also alert the students of 10th and 11th class so that they would take the study of 10th and 11th seriously, so that if this situation arises again in future, I don't think so, but if this situation arises, they will be prepared for this and they will score good marks in 12th class boards. Ma'am, this was on my part.
Okay, thank you, Atharsh. Now the floor is open for the questions. Would any participant like to ask a question from Atharsh? Yeah, Nancy, you can go ahead.
Was there not any other solution than cancellation?
I think that yes, I think that there was not no any solution other than cancellation because cancellation will also cure the students and it will prevent the students, and they would not take stress on the exams because if there will be no exams, the students will may not get stressed.
Okay, Atharsh, does anybody else also has a question?
Yes, I have one question. As Atihash, you have said that it by canceling the examination, there is less stress on students, and but when this COVID has hit our country, not our country, but actually the whole world, then we have seen that everything has gone online, from our classroom to work to everything has gone online. So and eventually everything is working, like people are working from home, they are working by in their home by online, everything, but they are not canceling their work, right? So why we are canceling the examination?
Ma'am, because ma'am, the 12th class boards are very important, but not such important than our lives. This these boards build the career of students, but we could not take it online because as I told you that there are many conditions of network connectivity issue and many financial conditions in the peoples or students, so they couldn't join, they couldn't join and appear in the online examination, so the government has done right by cancelling the examination.
Okay, thank you, Atharsh. Now we'll be moving on to the next participant. So over to you, Ifra.
So our next participant is Aparna, and she is from Queen Mary School, this Hazari. So Aparna, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay, Aparna, you can move on.
So first of all, gently good evening to everyone. So I'm Aparna Dikshit, and here I'm against the motion. So have you ever been thought about how it would be like passing class 12, that too without appearing in any kind of board examination? Most of you gonna say no, which is probably obvious. But because of the current situation in our country, the government of India on 1st June 2021 has clearly said that class 12 board exam have been cancelled. So I just want to ask the thinking way of students. When the news first came on June 1st, what would be the reaction of most of the students? They got disappointed, including me, because I'm currently not in 12th, but I was disappointed because not only me, many of the students in past 1 year they have been preparing for the exam, working really very hard in their homes without going in any kind of, I guess, coachings and tuitions also, because till the July 2020 the lockdown was there. In Lockdown was imposed in our country till then. So this I don't stand with cancel board exam. And secondly, have you ever been thought that okay, I'll give you one situation to each and every person. When maths teacher came in our classes and she suddenly surprised us with math surprise test, what would we do? Should we run out of the classroom and say that no, we are not going to give any kind of exam because we are not prepared? We have to face that situation now, whether we are prepared, whether we are not prepared. Similarly, we have to face this COVID-19 also. This is very something unplanned happened throughout the world and also in our country too. So this is something which was very unplanned. And secondly, uh, I I as a person, as a human being, don't believe that cancel not only board exam, cancel any kind of exam is not the solution of any problem. As there were many criterias, many other as there were many criterias and other things were there. The other way of conducting exam. Yes, I don't support online exam because students, they might not might, obviously they cheated in online exam. So I don't support online exam, but yes, I do agree with this. The different ways of conducting the exams. For example, yeah, that criteria of one in a 90 minutes exam with MCQs question, so that student not get irritated and in 90 minutes they can
And
give their
Aparna,
exams.
your time is over. Aparna, your time is
Okay, okay, okay.
over. Is there any questions for Aparna?
Okay, so I have a question. Atharsh, you go ahead first.
Atihash has a question.
Ma'am, I want to ask Aparna that does she think that canceling is not the only way of canceling is not the only way to. No, ma'am, I don't want to ask.
Atihash,
Okay, so
you
I
are
have a
free to
question.
use and Atihash, you are free to use any language. So whether you want to go for English or Hindi, it's better you. It is good that you express yourself. Is there any question? Then you can ask.
मैम मैं पूछना चाहता हूँ कि उन्हें ऐसा क्यों लगता है कि कैंसिलिंग एग्जाम को कैंसिल कर देंगे तो ऐसा स्टूडेंट्स के लिए बुरा क्यों होगा, क्योंकि उसके अलावा कोई ऑप्शन ही नहीं है.
So can I answer?
I'm so
Yeah, so it was obvious question, Atyash. Thank you for this question. I want to say that cancel board exam is not only the solution of this problem, and I believe with this statement because as there were many other options available for there. I have told in my speech also that 90 minutes exam with the MCQs question were also there, but instead of going with that solution, our government has decided to go with the cancel of board exam. And I should say that exam is not only scoring marks, it is something to evaluate student personality where they stand. And also class 12 students, they have to pursue their career also. So this is uh, cancel board exam is not only the solution left with the government. That's all. I agree with that.
I hope Atiharsh you have got your answer. And is I think there is no speaker left. Okay, Nancy is joining. Nancy, do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you, Aparna.
So I think we can move on to the next participant. So our next participant is Kajal, who is studying in Government Girls Senior Secondary School, and she would be speaking for the motion. So Kajal, are you ready? Kajal, am I audible? I think Kajal isn't responding, so
I think Kajal is having some network issue. Kajal, if there is no like network issue, you can switch on your camera. Okay,
I think for now we can move on to the next participant. Yeah. So Kushi Gupta will be our next participant who is pursuing computer engineering from JC Bose University of Science and Technology, and she will be speaking for the motion. So Kushi, are you ready?
Yes. Am I clearly audible?
Yeah, you are. So you can start.
Wait. Do I get a countdown or like for 3 minutes or a timer displayed on the screen?
And Kushi, you will be given 3 minutes. When 1 minute will be left, I will be showing this paper. And again, when 30 seconds will be left, I will be showing again paper. Okay?
Okay. Very well.
All the best.
Okay. So I'll begin with the countdown. 3, 2, and 1. I am very much satisfied with the decision of the government. Given the present situation and the safety of students, I think it is the right decision. I totally welcome the decision of the government. Such comments flooded social media once the news of Class 12 board exams being scraped off came out. A very good evening to one and all present here. Today I'm going to debate my way into the topic Class 12 board exams being scraped off, a decision right or wrong, and conclude that in fact it is the best possible decision in the present times. To begin with, health is most important over any examinations, and no one can counter that fact. Amid the COVID pandemic, if exams were conducted, then it would be a risk to the lives of lakhs of students and challenges for the government, to say nothing about the expenses spent on conducting such a country level exam, at a large scale. Moving on, second point, were the students prepared enough for the board exams? Of course not. Through the last year, they have been covered majority of their course through online classes and tests, so they were neither practiced nor experienced for to face offline exams, and hence putting them in a tight corner and putting even more pressure on them. So next point is that how long could we have delayed the exams, which were already postponed a number of times? This not only put the mental stress and trauma on students, they prepare day and night for this exam only to get disappointed that the exam is getting postponed again. So therefore, we have to take the decisions that are permanent and just. This brings into light my next point, that is the college admissions, which have already college very delayed due to the COVID pandemic, and we cannot delay them any further. Right decision at the right time is the need of the situation. Moving on to my fifth point, one may argue that what about the fairness of exams that is and about the results that the school will display? Then to them I want to ask, if government has announced an option to give the exams later on, if he or she is not satisfied with his or her result, then where is the question of fairness? So my next point is that the government has announced that the marks of 10th, 11th, and 12th will be considered for the evaluation process, and hence past record will be considered. Past record speaks for itself and will definitely lead to a fair result. My last and the seventh point of the debate is that it will actually reduce one of the ill of our society, that is the students committing suicide due to getting failed in exams. It is very evident due to the from the past year results as well, that students are hardly going to get failed if the schools are going to announce the results. In a nutshell, I would like to say that if this isn't the most approachable and the practical solution, then ladies and gentlemen, I am Harry Potter and this is my magic wand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kushi. Very well said. Now the floor is open for the questions. Would any participant like to ask a question from Kushi? Okay, so I like to ask a question, Kushi. So you said that many students weren't prepared for the board exams, but there were students who were prepared and who worked really hard. So don't you think this decision of canceling the exams is unfair for those particular set of students?
Well, in the present scenario, we have to give priority. And if we note down the priority order, health will always be above the examinations. So, considering that, it is the right decision. And talking about the bright students, then the school knows their potential very well. Even if the school is providing marks, they will keep in the mind that these are the bright students. He have performed very well earlier also, and they will mark them accordingly. So, no loss to them.
Okay, Kushi, thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like,
Yes, and thank you for your question.
We have seen that entrance examination is going to conduct for NEET, and whereas engineering also. So they are also students. They were also not prepared for COVID. They were like it is also new for them. Then why they are going to face examination? Why their examination is not cancelling?
See, JEE and NEET is a very different thing from the board exams. Board exams are for all the students in the country, whereas the JEE and NEET are only for the medical and the engineering aspirants. So, keeping that in mind, those students are not only taking the lesson from school, but they're also going to coaching classes and whatnot to prepare for that particular exam. And that exam will ultimately lead to their selection in IITs or AIMS and other prestigious colleges. Therefore, this exam cannot be. We cannot just declare that that the schools will decide the marks, because that is something else. It is a competitive exam. Board is not a competitive exam. It is a eligibility criteria, whereas the JEE and NEET are competitive exams. Hence, they are two different things, and it cannot be. We cannot declare such things for the JEE and NEET.
Okay, thank you, Kushi. And sorry, I have one more question. So
yes, of course.
As we know that the school is going to give marks according to the 10th and this previous any semester, or they will combine it and they will give. But there would have some students who have scored less marks in 10th. Okay, and they have not took in 11 they were like, okay, we will do like this, and at the time they thought, no, I have to do now what. But now they were ready to do hard work and score good marks, but at this time they will be not getting the marks which they wanted because they have previously scored less. So
yes.
So
I
it
get your
will be
question.
like they will not get the chance to prove themselves that yes, if my hard work can also pay off.
It was the way before the pandemic scene. That is why exams were conducted, but since it is not the normal scenario, I understand. Thank you for your question, and I would like to say that first thing we have to keep in mind is that majority of the percentage that is used for evaluation process is from 12th class itself. Some 10% from the and 20% from the 11th and 10th are taken. So you said that some students were not prepared enough and maybe they have not scored better earlier. So I would like to say that also that the it will, it's a like a logical reason behind it, that the marks increase in proportion. Say if they have not prepared well, also it might be that many other students who have not prepared well, and for those who may have prepared well, school will keep in mind that thing, and they will, I think, calculate the marks as such that it will finally bring the result very nearly as close to as the board result. You see, and another thing, that if a student was getting 70% in board exams and now he's getting 80, then we must remember that there was a student who was about to get 90% and now he's getting 97 or 98%. So everything is proportional. It may be more or maybe less, but it's proportional. So according to the competition, there's no harm or gain. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, thank you, Kushi. Archie, we can move.
Oh.
Our next participant is Astha Verma, who is pursuing journalism honors from Kalindi College, and she would be speaking for the motion. So, Astha, are you ready?
Yes. Am I audible and visible to you?
Yes, you are audible and visible, and you can start.
Okay, so I'll start my speech from the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hello, good evening, everyone. So the decision that stands cancellation of class 12th board examination has finally put a full stop to the uncertainty that was looming over more than a crore of students across the nation. And I believe that this decision was the need of the hour. And why so? I'll try to prove this to you in the next 2 minutes. So for mostly the deadly and horrific situation that we got to see in the past 2 months due to the advent of second wave of COVID-19 is somewhere a result of social gathering and events such as election rallies in Bengal and Kumbh Mela. And thus conducting board examinations, especially in physical mode, would be equal of putting the health prospect of more than a crore of students, their guardians, teachers, investigators at risk. Secondly, we also saw that how our healthcare system completely collapsed during this pandemic. There was a crisis for oxygen cylinders, ICU beds, medical and paramedical staff, and people who hail from low socioeconomic background had to even overcome a lot more problems in order to access the medical services. Thus, if because of conducting the board examination, the virus would have spread it even further among the student community, then the situation would have turned even worse. Because we could not rely on our medical system. It was already in deep crisis. It was already collapsed. B, the students who come from low socioeconomic background had to go through even more problems. Thirdly, I heard a lot of speakers speaking against the motion talking about conducting OBE. Then I would like to remind them of the great digital divide that India possesses. Even after 73 years of independence, the remote villages in the country have not even seen electricity, let alone forget about internet connectivity or availability of electrical appliances. Also, conducting OBE would not have been a reliable option either, because most of the students would have probably cheated in them. Also, there are a lot of people who are talking about the absenteeism of a standard basis of evaluation because of the cancellation of board examination. Then then there is an option for writing examination again, for the children who will not be satisfied with the marks that they have secured. And in these cases, the responsibility of these children will be on their parents, on their respective parents, and not on the government. Thirdly, postponing the exam would not be a relevant option either, because then we have to extend the dates for competitive exams such as IIT and NEET even further. And we know that how students it would be creating like more pressure on them, because we know that how students take drop year and prepare for them for like 2 to 3 years. Also, it would cause a lot of trouble to all the students who want to apply for admission in universities in universities abroad. And also it would delay the overall admission process to various undergraduate programs in the country. And Fifthly, though a lot of universities in the country conduct entrance examination in order to give admission to various undergraduate courses which are available in their colleges, and those who don't, I mean those who consider
Asta,
like
your time is over. Your time is.
okay, uh,
So, is
Okay,
there any?
so okay, so are there any questions for Astha?
Can we ask questions only to opposition or people who are also speaking in the same stance as us?
You can ask questions from anyone. So you can go ahead.
Okay, Asta, I would like to ask a few that in this current times when the exams will be declared by the schools, what about the admission process? Because 12th board exam marks are the eligibility criteria for arts and commerce students. Then every school will give marks accordingly. Then what about the admission process? And how will you justify that the students are getting correct results and they're getting their deserved colleges?
Thank you for your question, Kushi. If the time would not have been over, I would have like addressed this issue in my speech itself. Okay, so though there are a lot of universities that conduct entrance examination that I've already mentioned, and those who do not conduct examination and take the 12th class result as a basis to give like admission in their undergraduate courses, and if people think that this result is not credible enough this year to give admissions, or this is not a fair basis, then a common entrance examination can be conducted when the situation gets normal. This is my stand on this question.
Are there any more questions for Astha? All right,
Can
so
we
we can move ahead.
cross question also, or just question?
You can cross question. So you can go ahead.
Astha, just you just mentioned a common examination, but isn't it become another board? Common examination board is a common examination. You mentioned that another common examination could take place when the things will get normal. Then isn't it a board again?
But board was conducting, we were talking to conduct board up से 2 महीने पहले, when the situation was so tensed. Like even last year also we got to see that how NEET was conducted in September when the situation got slightly normal. So right, we can consider this option of conducting common entrance examination when the situation gets normal, right? After, say after 2 months from now.
Okay, so Khushi, is your question answered?
Well, I think that if we postpone it, then it is not like cancelling of exams. It is again postponement. Like if you see that way. But I think you have moved to a good level answered my question. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we can move on to the next participant. Over to you, Ifra.
So our next participant is Anu Chaudhary, and she's from Bharati College, Delhi University. Anu Chaudhary, are you here? Please switch on your camera and mic. Am I audible? Anu Chaudhary, can you hear me? I think there is some network issue with Anu Chaudhary. Okay, then with this we come to the end of our debate competition. It was very good and nice listening. Okay, we have. It was very good and nice experience listening to you all, and we have Kriti, and she will be giving vote of thanks.
Thank you, Ifra. Lovely and
Sorry to interrupt
warm evening
you.
to our.
Sorry to interrupt you. We have Kajal. I think she's not got the chance to speak. Kajal,
Okay.
are you here? Kajal,
Kajal, are we audible? I think she's having some network issues.
okay,
Move on
then
with the vote of
we
thanks.
can conclude our program.
Okay. Lovely and warm evening to our most valued and worthy guest, management committee, and host, and most important of all, our lovely participants. I, Kirti Soni, on behalf of Sarkari School and We Citizen Foundation, spread my most sincere thanks to the guests who gave their time from their busy schedule to grace this competition. Everyone has a different perspective on the same subject, and now we had the chance to hear all of your views and perspective, and believe me, it was a pleasure to see and listen to every one of your opinions. You have undoubtedly enriched our brains. I want to express my gratitude to all of the participants for graciously sharing their thoughts with us. Special and a big generous thanks to Abhishek sir, founder of We Citizen Foundation and sarkarischool.in, for the support, guidance, and supervising, inspiring us at every point of time. I would like to thank project leader Vidya and Vani and our team leader Jagrati for being the catalyst that inspires us to do best and stand as a pillar of power. Last but not least, I mention my sincere sense of gratitude to all the anchors who hold this event gracefully. Once again, I would want to express our gratitude to everyone in present. We appreciate your being here with us this evening. It's been a tremendous joy. Have a nice evening. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you everyone. So let's end this meeting.